What's happening, everybody? It's your boy K.Z.U.P TV, man, doing this segment. I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. Hopefully we can touch on. It might be quick. Hopefully it can go on for a little bit, man. So we're gonna start with the world. If we get to religion, depends on how many people chime in. We take it from there. Now what I'm gonna do is play a video because, like I said, I just feel drained, or it's just absurd that people believe it's a flat Earth. Um, so it's pretty difficult to start. So what I'm gonna do is play this little video. Hopefully y'all listen to it. She gonna give you her insight. Then I'm gonna give you the rundown on why that this is a globe Earth, and we the flat Earth crushers, the FEC. Thinking of getting that started, but I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna give you my insight.
Prove that the Earth is round, because apparently this is something that we're debating. I have no idea why. That's a hard thing for me to even start talking about, because there are so many proofs that the Earth is round, it's difficult to know where to start. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is flat. This is not a viable argument. I have friends who have been on the International Space Station. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes. I have had personal experience with people that have been up in space and can see with their own eyes that the Earth is round. And of course, we've taken all of these amazing pictures from space. They're so beautiful, all those pictures of the Earth. So I don't really know what's going on right now with this Earth is flat thing. But I will tell you that this is one of the things I really enjoyed teaching my own astronomy class about, because there are proofs all around you. It is not difficult to know that the Earth is round. In fact, people have known this for way more than 2,000 years. The ancient Greeks actually had a number of really elegant, wonderful proofs that the Earth was a sphere. So let's start from the simple to the slightly more complicated. One of the things you can see yourself with a pair of binoculars is if you actually go out to a lake and there are boats on that lake, the farther away a boat is, the more the bottom of the boat will disappear, and you'll basically just see the mast of the boat. And as a boat goes farther and farther away, the last thing you will see is the very top of the mast of that boat. And that's because the boat is actually going over the horizon that's curved. And that means that as it goes farther and farther away, you see less and less of the bottom of it and more of the top of that. You can see that with binoculars, by an ocean, by a lake. It's really easy. That wouldn't happen if the Earth were flat. You would simply see the boat getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it went farther away, but you'd be able to see the whole thing with the same proportions. Now, another way that you can tell that we're on a sphere is to think about how there's something called the tropics on the Earth. And the tropics are places near the equator of the Earth where sometimes the sun is overhead in the sky. And this was actually something that the Greeks used not only to prove that the Earth was round about 2,000 years ago, but they actually measured the circumference of the Earth accurate to within just a couple percent. 2,000 years ago, we've known that the Earth was round. There was a really brilliant Greek scientist called Eratosthenes. And Eratosthenes noticed that there was a town called Syene. And on a certain date, the sun would actually shine straight down to the bottom of a well. That meant the sun was directly overhead. You could look down a well and see the sun shining back at you. And on the very same date, farther away in the city of Alexandria, that didn't happen. The sun was not directly overhead. It was a slight angle. And all that Eratosthenes did was he measured the difference in the angle of the sun. It was straight overhead in Syene. In Alexandria, it was a little bit less than overhead. And he rationed that that change in angle from one city to another was probably indicative of us being on a curved surface. And you could make all kinds of measurements, even between those two cities, and see that the angles were different. The sun was at a different place in the sky. Using this, he actually measured the circumference of the Earth, and he got it right 2,000 years ago. So another really simple proof is that on any given date, at different cities and different places around the world, the sun is at different angles in the sky. That wouldn't happen if the Earth wasn't round. Then there are some other proofs that are a little more obscure, but they're actually really lovely. And one is to observe what happens during a lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. The moon actually goes dark. In fact, if you've seen one, you can actually see the Earth's shadow go across the moon. And when the moon is entirely in the Earth's shadow, the moon looks kind of dark and even kind of red colored. It's really, really beautiful. What's happening in that case is that the sun is on one side of the Earth. The Earth is in the middle, and it's casting a shadow. The Earth is casting a shadow on the moon. And as the shadow moves across the moon, you'll notice that the shadow is curved, it's round. So something like the sun that's bigger than the Earth and is able to cast a shadow of the Earth on the moon can actually show you the shape of the Earth. Aha, you might say, but could the Earth be a disk? Could it be flat, but it's actually still shaped like a disk, not like a sphere? There was a Greek scientist called Aristarchus, and what he noticed was that you can get a lunar eclipse at many different angles where the sun is. Sometimes the shadow goes straight across the moon. Sometimes it just kind of glances the moon. Just a little bit is in shadow, just on the top or on the bottom. From every different vantage point, every different angle that the sun is casting a shadow, you always get a perfectly curved shadow. The only shape that can cast a shadow that's curved from any direction you put the light is a sphere. So people have known that the Earth is spherical for thousands of years. It's not okay to say that the Earth is flat. This is some sort of strange denial. I don't know where it comes from. And it's something where I keep getting this question. We really need to put this question to bed because we've known the Earth is a sphere for a long time. There's some even well-meaning people that have kind of, they say, well, I don't really believe the Earth is flat, but I'm not really sure what to think about it. And they've asked me some interesting questions like, they've heard that that space is very hot. That when you go up above the atmosphere, the temperature of space is millions of degrees, which is true. The problem is there's basically no air at all. So the gas right around the Earth is actually millions of degrees hot. That's actually true, but there's almost none of it. There's almost nothing. Like one single proton whizzes by you at a temperature of 1,000,000 degrees. It's not the same as temperature like in the air. It's not the same thing at all. So that one was one that I get sometimes. And the other one is, I actually said this to somebody, I couldn't believe they'd never thought of it, that, with binoculars, you can see planets. You can see Saturn and Jupiter. You can see Mars with a telescope, the sun, the moon, everything else you see in the solar system is a sphere. So we're the one thing that is different. And that actually made somebody who was more interested in actually hearing information. That actually got them to think. They're like, "You're right. Everything else we take as a truth is a spirit."
No, taking consideration, that's basically in a nutshell what I'll be trying to tell people. Uh, you know, all you got to do is look up in the sky and that you see everything else is a sphere. So if everything else is a sphere, that means, Earth, how would Earth not be a sphere? So it really wouldn't make sense. Video I was watching earlier, I don't know how a lot of these flat earthers be thinking they scientists. Oh, how could you? It's not no oxygen out there, so how could it go in the vacuum? Well, I would have to look up the title for it. It was a video I watched where they actually uh, fired up rocket jets in a vacuum. So that's accurate. That's very possible. It does happen. That's how they do it. Now, like I say, first of all, hop on a plane, fly to Cape Town, South Africa, or Melbourne, Australia. Two major cities, in the southern hemisphere. There, you won't be able to see the North Star. Now, this might seem like an expensive trip. Is one part experiment that can be done to disprove the flat Earth theory, the theory at the center of popular news documentary. Now, first, okay, so how we know scientifically the Earth is a sphere. Well, at a very basic level, we can see the Earth's curvature through satellites that we've launched into space. Additionally, through the use of high power telescopes, we've been able to examine planets both in our solar system and beyond. And all of them are spherical shape. Now, this is a very deep fundamental reason why, the Earth is round. Force of gravity, it depends on the distance between two interacting objects. And the only three-dimensional object you can make with a single distance, is a sphere. If you didn't know that, we can measure the behavior of gravity, in a laboratory and, with a variety of highly sensitive experiments. Each of these experiments, they show that the force of gravity depends on only on the mass of two objects and the distance between them. So, on the other hand, if you wanted to form a flattened object using the gravity alone, the force of gravity would have to depend on two perpendicular distances in two perpendicular directions. Now, let's backtrack, to the times before satellites and telescopes. Why did people, at one point in time think that the earth was flat? Well, the primary reason is, the ancient people, they believed the earth was flat, you know, that it looks flat from our vantage point on the ground. Most of these people throughout history, they never traveled through a few miles, from their birthplace. So all of the stories that you hear through the Bible, stuff like that, they basically they never traveled nowhere far. So, they're never even given it a chance for, their horizon to change. I mean, not their horizon, but uh, their their star system to change. Anyways, here we go, but look, most people they were more worried about meeting necessities of life other than about the shape of the earth. You got to think this is through the beginning. Now, the misconception that the earth must be flat is because it looks flat, to us arises simply because the earth is big. Now, the height of an adult is much less than 1 millionth of the earth's radius. So that's a really small dot. I mean, I'm sure y'all know that, especially these people, the self-proclaimed scientists. You should know that's real small. So just I mean, you could imagine that. I would have guessed. But uh, in order, to see the curvature of the Earth in a single field of view, you would need to be perched above the surface. A sizable fraction of the radius, and 1 millionth, it wouldn't be a considerable size. That's why you basically would have to see it, from basically an airplane view. Now, what clues changed your thinking? Now, this state affair started, to change about 2,500 years ago during the Iron Age, especially with the Greeks. Now, there are two primary reasons that the Greeks knew the Earth was round. Now, as I always tell people, lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is a reflection of the sun onto the moon. And if you just look at your own shadow, you're pretty sure of what the shape is. So by you seeing the shape of a round object that's on the moon, that's our shadow. So that's real obvious. I don't really know why it be a debate, But if you want to prove that the Earth is a sphere, now here's an experiment. I don't know, in Quito, Ecuador, Nairobi, Kenya, there are two cities on the equator. Fly to each either, and you'll see Polaris in the northern horizon. Cape Town, South Africa, Melbourne, Australia, well south of the equator. Fly to either, and you will not see Polaris. So that's what I try to tell people that if you go to the southern hemisphere, you will not be able to have the same star constellation. Now, flat earthers, they say if the Earth is spinning sphere, why can't they feel it? But how did scientists prove that Earth rotates? Now, through the shape of the Earth, had been settled for over 2 millennia. A scientist by the name of Leon Foucault, he designed an experiment way back in 1851. Now, this was using a very long pendulum that showed both that the Earth is round and that it rotates. Now, if you place the pendulum at the North Pole, the direction of its swing changes with respect to the ground, and completes a full circle each day, placing the same palladium on the equator yields no change at all in the direction of the swinging. Now, these facts, and the behavior of the pendulum when it's placed anywhere agree with Foucault's prediction, so that we are spinning. Other clues, these are the same clues everybody here, the six jet streams that's on Earth and how their directions relate to each other. When people were in war, how when they shooting and the shell flies above surface, how naval guns. I don't know if y'all know about Navy ships or whatever, but they aim basically higher to shoot over the horizon. How I mean, now I can understand how people don't really understand how most hurricanes rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, basically rotate the other way. Um, what's up with you, Sir Drop? I don't know if I got my volume up. I don't know if I had my volume up on here or not, but that's basically them some real facts. Hold on, hold on. Let me back up one time. Give me 1 second. Let me back out and come back because I can't hear y'all or hear you drop. Give me 1 second, fellas. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me drop? All right, I don't think you can hear me. But basically, that's in a nutshell. I left this open for if anybody had any questions of anything that I said, but uh, this flat Earth crushers, man, we crush the flat Earth with these facts. Um, I just wanted to do a quick briefing. So, next time somebody just telling you that oxygen can't go in space and it's gonna push you out, they don't know their science. I seen an engine go in a vacuum and the shit moves. There's really nothing else. I was gonna give y'all another insight. I did do a little, had a little weaponry ready for if somebody had something to say. But like I said, it's your boy K.Z.U.P TV, man. About to be signing out and take a little music break. Uh, y'all have a good one.
Nowadays, you really can't even post on the average. You can hear his niggas quote that I have it. If I come through, walk a quote with a matter. A nigga comes through with his note for the static. All you can hear is that quote that I had it. Niggas in the trip, but I toast to the matter. And if you post an average, all you know when you're a nigga just posting the average. I'm in the spot like 7 Up. As a nigga talk shit and Chevy's revving up. All I do is come out and just go in the trunk. Niggas ain't shit. Then I just wanna pump. Nigga, I post the spot like cereal spots. And I can get your bitch open like a locksmith. You can call me a blacksmith. By the way, I hold a blacksmith. Yeah, cause all I really do is just post an average. Niggas, all you hear is they quote that I had it. And if you come through, you just smoke an average. Niggas, you smoking the average. Niggas in the stores like a hole to the cabbage. All of those niggas who was just post like a savage. Niggas wanna assist why they bag a bitch. Most niggas bag a bitch why they average. I'm a real ass nigga, I ain't been no place. And I can pull it out and shoot it right in your face. Yeah, go in the glove compartment. Cause all my niggas do is love to start shit. Hard clips in the Mac, yeah, I pull old wine. Niggas wanna fit in, I'm new with the old line. Blind your friend and blind your cuz. Come through in this shit like the knives of butt. Shit, flash shit like Ghost Recon in the economy. Niggas on the trip but shit, it's like a trilogy. I'll bring the stars and cars, the guns and signing. Niggas talking shit, but you the ones who signing. All I really do is just post in the album. The niggas all they hear says I'm savage. And niggas talking shit they don't know the average. But if you wanna know, you can quote the ad. All I do is come through with the guns too. If the niggas talk shit, we can have some fun too. It ain't nothing moving on the city over buttons. Niggas talking shit that really is really right. Nah, it's for real. Wild, for real niggas talking the deal wild for real. For real, niggas is chill for real, for real, for real. When niggas talk up shit, but on the real lapel, these niggas is papers, niggas is tigers, niggas is
What's
liars,
up with it,
niggas.
drop?
Chilling, man. You know the goddamn earth ain't round.
Oh man, I thought you was about to let me slide on out of here. I tried to do my quick old flat earth crusher segment, but nobody did
Hey,
debate.
play that link. Hey, play that link I just posted in the chat, man. Play that, and then we don't gotta talk. You play what you play, right?
Yeah.
Now play the link that I told you to play. And there you
I got.
go.
I mean,
Man, it's a link I posted, man. I ain't post more than one link. Let me post it again. Hold on.
no, no, I see. I go.
Well, yeah, go ahead, play that. Now I mute my mic. I don't gotta say nothing. You just take the whole space thing out the way first. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. Once I take that away, it's like I took your queen and your rook. It's cool. I ain't tripping, but
It's
you know,
it's so much science to
did
be in
you
this
press play?
space.
You ain't press play, bro. I wouldn't. No, bro, it's my turn. Don't try to move and sway from.
I don't think it's gonna play like that because I ain't doing it off my computer.
No, you play the same link you played and just had the vocals come through. You want me to do it? I can do it. Don't worry about it. Now you're trying to play games with me. I'll play it. Hold on. This shit is funny. This man, I don't know because I don't know, man. It's just it's improbable.
I mean, it's just so much that go on.
I mean, the mechanisms are intangible, man.
I mean, lady
Y'all
said,
motherfuckers be trying to sound out. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. This is me, man. I don't know who you think you're talking to. I'm gonna play it. Don't worry about it. We all gonna hear it. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna play it because you scared, you petrified. I ain't gonna even do it to you. I'm gonna
I
keep
mean,
letting you think the shit round so I can be one up on you. That's what I'm gonna do. He's
I mean,
thinking it's
I'm gonna tell
no,
y'all to
it's cool.
watch
Don't
this
worry
show.
about it. No, I don't want to watch no damn globe earth show, bro. Listen, man, a curve.
No, it's a show called Behind the Curve. It's
It
on
ain't
Netflix.
ain't nothing living up the fuck side down.
No, we ain't living upside down, man. I don't see. That's when the forces of God and it's God's game. That's
Nigga
what
say the
I'm,
forces of
I'm about to start promoting God's game, man. This is God's game. Think if you was a God and you made your game a lot. You know everything that can happen. Hell no, we ain't walking upside down, man. Why would he do that? That wouldn't really make sense.
So why the hell you think a globe makes sense? All right, never mind, bro. I don't get it, bro. You
Because
saying you agreeing with me? I don't get it, bro. Let me cut my beats back on. Hold on.
I
Because
mean,
hey,
because
look,
it's
but I gotta go
mystery.
fuck with God Body too, man. Let's go over to God Body's forum and shit. It's a his topic is yeah, his topic is evolution or whatever. It's God Body Shine, right? God Body, all capital letters, space,
Yeah,
capital
I
S.
got him on my list. That's my dude. Yeah, I can go check him out. Yeah, because I was gonna close this down. I was just
No,
throwing
I was
shit.
saying he already had his shit waiting, so we try to keep everybody in order on who we fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to put it like this. I want everybody to be in sequence, so we live at all times. That shit gonna be cold. What? As long as
Hmm.
everybody support everybody's channel, everybody gonna go everywhere. So everybody, you see what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I sent you, man. Watch that shit, man. But never mind. All right, let's go over there, man.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see if it's even playing first. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, and I had so much shit about Arsenal, I didn't even want to go to it
If
either.
God body playing games. Let me see.
You ever heard of a Hercules Corrales Great Wall? I mean, yeah.
Let's see. Someone you blocked is a moderator here.
You say
Yo,
what?
God body playing games. God body playing games. Hold on. I don't do the late thing. Hold on. Because we can just keep it rocking. Or I'll go live or something because he says 6
Oh,
o'clock. What's happening? It's
shit.
6:04. Too late, bro. It's too late.
Yeah.
Hold on. I might got a late notification. Hold on, let me see. You know how that shit go.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I usually don't educate myself on these shits, man. They be saying the same shit that I be saying, man. I be watching these experiments, man, because I'm trying to remember his name, but that nigga try to act like he knows so much about space. He's talking about, oh, you can't even bring oxygen in space. It'll just it'll just push you off. I mean, but they don't know you people don't even know you produce water while you in the fucking rocket. Did you know that? They suit and all that is collecting all they sweat and everything. And don't you know how we make dirty water clean with our little quick tricks? You know, we go to Africa and put a little tube and run water through it. Now it's clear water. That's what they do with shit from our body and shit to keep extra fucking H2O in the fucking thing in the
That's gangster. All right,
space
man.
shuttle.
Look. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to talking about space. You got to talking about oxygen and vacuums. When all the fuck I gotta do is tell you, ain't nobody living the fuck upside down. Ain't no water running up fucking hill, bro. I don't have to do all that weird dumb shit you doing. I don't have to do that. It's the simple shit. One plus it's simple.
See,
It ain't
that's
even
where it's
hard to figure
wrong.
this out.
Why?
Huh?
Would that make sense? If the way that we taught is the right way, how could another
Listen, man. Listen, man.
do
When
the
I
same?
get to the side of when I get to the land on the side of the earth, damn near everything should be downhill, bro. Everything.
How when you got electromagnetism, you got the moon, you got gravity playing this part. You got everything. If that's the case, what you want water flying around with everything else, just a whole bunch of debris of the environment
One
floating
side,
around.
the oh wow, and I'm going down to the bottom.
And you know
Somehow
it's
I'm
70%.
going high.
So now it's 70% water. What you now you remember you described one
No, I'm in
of
a plane, bro, and I'm flying, bro, here to here. I should be descending the whole way on the side of a globe. Period. Because
but
we
guess
know
what
the
happened
planes
when you go
don't.
straight? Guess what happened
Listen,
when you go straight?
listen. So now that we know the planes don't nosedive, right? How the
But
fuck do they even get to the bottom?
is you registering what in your brain what happens when you go straight? You're gonna end up on the other side of the fucking world.
Huh? They
Yeah, you're
gonna
gonna
shoot
end
your
up.
shit down as soon as you get to the North Pole.
Did you know
Look,
if you go straight,
do you know you can't go straight because you're not allowed to fly over Amp?
that depends on what direction you're going. That's why we got. That's why we know where the equator located at and shit like that. But you still can go straight. Well, how you? I mean, what you think sailing the sea is? What you think they was doing? If y'all like to use water so much, if fucking even the Christopher Columbus story even makes sense, I just don't want to say he found did America as in the founder, but he sure went straight, went to something else, and it ended up being America. That did happen. He just wasn't first. That's going straight at its finest. When you hear that story, what's going to debunk the Christopher Columbus story? That's a good story to use, especially when going straight. We took out flying and all that. That's about as straight as it can get. Cause I mean, I'm just like how you got to understand they do lie to us. They lied to us just for the simple fact you can't tell me Christopher Columbus found America when Mexicans was walking here in the first days. Them our cousins. So yeah, they lied to us. Yeah, they lied to us and shit.
Listen, Christopher Columbus so around the world, not upside down the world. It's a difference when you going around masses of land and you traveling. When they tried to go to that horizon to find this mysterious curve you talking about, they found more land. I quit playing games with the shit. Now it's starting to get frustrating because now I've been sipping, right? I've been smoking, right? And then I listen to the stupidity. I hear the lady talking crazy. I hear the scientist and fuck the oxygen in the vacuum, and then I'm hearing dumb shit, right? And I'm like, no, if I go the fuck outside, this shit
You,
flat, bro. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. No,
I mean,
I don't know.
but you use the telescope and you look and see everything up there is a motherfucking sphere,
All
and
right.
you got
So
that
what the fuck do that got to do with anything?
are not spherical.
What do that have to do with any goddamn thing?
It have to do with everything. If everything
See,
is
there you go.
that's like a
The
house.
gang gotta cut your mic off, bro.
Look, just use your common sense and be like the difference between a house and an apartment. You know if that's a house and if you know if that's an apartment, man. If you
Right,
know that that's another planet or a
right.
star.
Look, I look at the clouds, right? And I see that the clouds is fucking flat. And they puffy on the top. That's what the fuck I see, bro. So when you go
But I
beyond that
also
to say, but look at the stars, then I gotta be like, man, I don't know, I can't make it to the stars. I can travel right above the fucking clouds, right above them, as they,
now look,
you know.
let me nip this in the bud. See, you can't
No,
go on sun.
I gotta
That's
leave because you're not listening. I can never get his dope OG game to somebody that's not listening. I can't do it.
listen, I'm
I
trying to
get it,
rewind
bro.
you to
All right, that's
listen.
good.
I'm trying to rewind you on what you said. Now you said, look, there's another thing. People say they look at the cloud and the cloud is flat at the bottom. Now maybe I gotta look again because the motherfucking cloud ain't even flat on the bottom. See, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'm looking from the trajectory of my eyes because I can't draw good. You know, you see the darkness of a cloud and a little lightness. I mean, you see lighter colors of white and gray at the bottom of the crowd, but if you was to watch a cartoon and make a flat bottom of the crowd, a cloud, I could see that. So basically, people saying they see the bottom of a cloud, but a fucking cloud is floating around like a fucking piece of cotton. I mean, the last time I checked, maybe I gotta look and see how smooth it is at the bottom, you know, to understand that. But yeah, man, this your boy K.Z.U.P TV, man. Uh, Flat Earth Crushers, man. I guess I'm still going for a little bit until we find another spot that we gonna go in, man. So let me see. I would like to pull up some more insight. Let me see if I can pull up my bro's video real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I didn't even go to this. Nope, I can't go. So, I can't go to it that way. I can go to it this way. Fuck. Gotta go to it this way. In 1 second. No, shit, I pushed the wrong thing. Let me see. I need to go to some a little bit newer. I'll be watching this motherfucker. Let's see. Huh. Maybe I can't find it. Oh, here's one. Nope, this ain't one either. Fuck. This shit ain't even fucking working. Yep, I might be shutting this down, fellas. But I mean, like I said, but I don't know why do people think that Earth is flat. We've been knowing the Earth was a globe for at least 2,000 years right now, so it mind boggles me. Oh, I can go to this. Let me see. Let me see if this play. All right, hold on. 1 more second, fellas. Let me try to get to this other video. Let's see if this point. Try to up y'all on some global game, man. It's the flat Earth crushers, man. They act like we gotta uh prove that it's a globe, but we the ones proving that. I mean, they the ones that gotta prove that it's flat. You know, so I really don't understand where that come from. Oh yeah, we got the homie over here, and I don't got my other vid ready. Yep, I'm gonna have to shut this one down, man. This your boy K's Up TV, man. I'm signing out, man. Thanks for coming.